Hey family, look, it's the middle of the week. I pray that all is well with you. Look, whether your week has started off good, bad, whether it's been stressful, whether it's been overwhelming, maybe for a lot of you, it has been tiresome where you feel like you've put in a lot of work this week. It's been a heavy week for you already, and it's just the middle of the week. Uh, all of that may seem bad. I just want to let you know that you made it to this day. You've made it through this day. And I just believe that the best is ahead of you. Stop looking in the past. Stop looking behind you. There's nothing behind you but lessons learned. Move forward in your life. I don't know who needs to hear that this evening, but just move forward. And look, if you're here and you hear me, and you agree with that, in the comment section, whether you're catching this live or whether you're even going to catch this on replay, just in the comment section, help me out. Just shout back to your neighbor, say, move forward, move forward. I don't know what's been hindering you, what's been blocking you, what's been holding you back in life. Sometimes it can be fear. It can be uncertainty. It can be really unforgiveness. It could be us really dwelling and staying in the past when God is saying, look, I know that season hurt you. I know that made you feel some type of way, but it's time to move forward. And there's nothing but lessons behind you. So you've learned the lessons, painful or not. You made it through, you survived, and you're here this evening. You're listening to this, you're live, and you're doing well. And for that, we ought to give God praise. We don't need an organ for that. We don't need someone pushing us, but we can give God praise because we've made it to today. Look, we're coming out of an amazing a series that we started a few weeks ago called Brainwash. And we talked about from Romans chapter 12, verse 2, out of the New Living Translation of the Bible. It says, that God wanted to transform us into a new person, and how he does that is by changing the way that we think. And I dealt with how the world can compare change and transformation solely to what's on the outside, the exterior, the cosmetic, things that you can physically see with your eyes. But God says that is not how I'm going to transform you. How I'm going to transform you is I'm going to change the way that you think. Because if I change the way that you think, then naturally your actions and your exterior will line up with that. Our actions and our decisions that we make in our lives are a byproduct of the thoughts that are in our head, the things that we think, and what's in our heart too as well. And God says, I want to change all of that. A lot of that comes from, especially from a negative side, comes from our environments, the way that we were raised, who we were raised around, things that we were allowed to hear, see. All of this has to do with environment and who we allow to have influence over us. But God says, I should be the greatest influence in your life. I should be the person that you're looking to because I created you. That's what God is saying. I created you. And I know everything about you. So we dealt with, what do you think about yourself? We talked about, oftentimes we have self-doubt. And we have to understand that everybody that was created by God, you were created with greatness inside of you. It doesn't matter in church, whether you have a microphone, you're on the stage or not. The person who's sitting next to you in a pew or in a chair has greatness. In fact, you who are watching this right now, there is greatness inside of you. And I don't want you to be timid in this season. I don't want you to hold back in this season. I want you to fully embrace who God has created you to be. And whatever that looks like, whether that's in serving in ministry, whether that's just smiling and loving someone, praying for one another, loving one another, giving to the homeless or the less fortunate, whatever you feel passionate about, I want you to do that and do it as you were doing it unto the Lord. So we talked about that. What do you think about yourself? Then we talked about what do you think about church? And we talked about how church can sometimes be interesting because of all of the things that we do sometimes, that some people do that are not necessarily biblical, but just things that we've learned over the years, and we just feel like this is the way to do it. But what do you think about church, and what should church look like? And we talked about how church should be a community of believers and people who could come together and be vulnerable and be open to share where they are on their Christian journey. And understanding that all of us collectively, as we come together with our unique stories, that we're able to help one another and we're able to grow closer to God, but also grow closer to our brothers and our sisters, and never putting ourselves above our brother or our sister, or thinking of ourselves more highly than our brothers and our sisters. Like, it does not matter, especially we're talking about what do you think about church. I said it earlier, but it doesn't matter who's holding the microphone or whose name is on a marquee. All of that stuff does not matter. What matters is our relationship with God and our heart. What is the position in the condition of your heart? Because that's what God is concerned about. All the exterior, all the stuff that we do, none of that matters to God. It says, the world looks at the exterior, the outside, but God looks and searches the heart. That's what he's concerned about. And we now dealt with the previous, last Sunday, we dealt with, what do you think about God? And we really dealt with getting a simplistic understanding of who God is. And how does that relate to us in our lives? And how are we able to manage the day-to-day reality of life that we see? The reality of maybe you're not making enough money to cover the bills, or the reality of the doctor may say that this is a sickness that cannot be cured, or you're dealing with pain, emotional stress, or whatever it may be. And that's what the world says. That's reality. But God is not someone that we can physically see. And we dealt with, many of us, if we're honest, many of us don't have 100% faith and trust in God because we can't physically see him. We can't physically have a conversation with him. If I was holding something in my hand and I handed it off to you, I could see where you're going with that. So if I have a problem, and let's just say what's in my hand is a problem, and I hand it to you, I can watch and see you go away with my problem, right? But with God is different, because I can't physically hand it to him, but yet and still I am instructed to cast my cares upon the person who cares for me, and the person who cares for me, I can't see him. But that is what faith is. Faith is believing in what you cannot see. It's believing that God can make a way out of no way. It's believing that you are already healed, that you are already delivered, that son, that daughter, that grandchild is already saved. It's believing. And if we ever get to a place in our lives where we 100% believe and have faith in the true and living God, not the God that man has created here on earth, even through church systems, but it is understanding and having a relationship with the person who created you. Then at that moment, your entire life will change. And my assignment, my goal is to get all of us as a church, Grace House Church, to understand who God really is, beyond all the weird stuff that we have made him. Who is he? Because there are people in this world who are at the edge of giving up on their lives, committing suicide, divorcing, walking away from it all, giving up on everything. And they're wanting to know, is there an answer? And there is. And it comes through the word of God. It comes through God himself. And the way that we get to him is through his son, Jesus Christ. and I've talked too long on here, y'all, and I'm getting excited. But I just wanted that we're coming out of this series, and I pray that many of you who are members of Grace House Church, that you've gotten something out of this series. I feel that we'll probably revisit again, or probably do a part 2 of one of those weeks. But look, this weekend is coming up, y'all, and it's Father's Day. It's Father's Day weekend, and it's going to be an amazing Sunday for us at Grace House Church, y'all. Our youth pastor, Pastor Will Holden, is bringing the word Sunday, and I'm super excited about it. I cannot wait for you all to experience his ministry. He has an amazing testimony, an amazing ministry, and I promise you, y'all, we're going to be blessed Sunday. Sunday, again, the doors open up at 10:45. Service starts at 11. You hear my son in the background. This is happening real time here. Doors open up at 10:45. Service starts at 11 o'clock, y'all. 601 South Clinton Street, right here in the city of Athens. We're a brand new church, y'all, that we're planting and building from the ground up. And we're super excited about all that God is doing. And look, and everything that involves you, the community. So look, join us. If you want to plan your visit, just simply text visiting to 256-901-9061, or guess what? Just hop in the car, pull up on us, meet us at church on Sunday morning. We can't wait to see you for worship. I love y'all. Stay blessed. I pray that the remainder of your week, it will be blessed. I pray for a turnaround in anything that you need God to turn around in your life. Believe that he can do it, and expect it to be done.